3 things about pricing of new drugs. Many people suppose that we can't afford new drugs and that the high cost of these drugs threatens healthcare budgets. It also limits funding available for other areas in which public investments is needed. A main question is, why are the costs of new drugs that high? I would like to explain 3 things you might not know about pricing of new drugs. First, high cost of development. Drug development is a long and expensive undertaking. It takes about 10-12 years for a drug to move from the laboratory to testing with patients in a clinical trial setting and getting final registration. It's estimated that it costs approximately $3 billion to develop a new drug. And it's important to realize that many drugs don't reach the market. Only 1 to 2 out of 10 drugs tested come to the market. In other words, lots of investments fail. And in addition, governments also fund projects on drug development, and a lot of public money is spent on research and development. And this is most often in the earlier trajectories of an innovation, includes failures as well. Second, existence of monopoly. Another reason for the high cost of new drugs is the existence of a monopoly. A monopoly means that there is no competition. There are no other companies with a comparable drug. And the result is that there is no other substitute with the same active ingredient available for the patient. And the reason for this is that there is a patent period. Patents are introduced to protect a company's ID from use by another pharmaceutical company for free. Ideally, monopolies will be temporary because competition should emerge as the patent period expires. However, this is not always the case. Third, cost prices versus fair price. When pricing the drugs, pharmaceutical companies consider a drug's uniqueness, the clinical value of the drug, research and development costs, and the patient population. A drug's uniqueness is seen in the added value it brings compared to existing therapies. For example, the new cell and gene therapies. Unlike conventional therapies, like medication and surgery, they alter a specific part of the genetic makeup, targeting the underlying causes of the disease with higher accuracy. The assessment of the clinical value of a drug differs per disease. In cancer, an improvement in survival, preferably without disease progression and side effects, is considered most relevant. And with regard to the patient population in general, the smaller the patient group, the higher the cost. There's a lot of discussion on whether the prices of drugs could be lower, in other words, could be fairer. And a fair price will seek a balance between what is best for the company and what's best for society as a whole. We would like to see new drugs on the market to improve health outcomes for many patients. Therefore, companies need money for the development of these drugs. And on the other hand, when prices are too high, these patients don't have access to these drugs if you can't afford them. Thus, the new drugs are not used as intended. Finding the right balance will be key.